In this video, we're going to go over checkout settings and how you should have your checkout set up. So we're here in the computer. We're at the page for the checkout settings. So if you actually go down here below to the bottom left and click settings, you'll then see checkout settings, and you want to click that, and that's where we are here. So once you get here, we're here. It breaks it down into style, a few different tabs, right? So we're just gonna go one by one down everything. I'm kind of gonna leave the style for last because it's actually very simple. But everything else is kind of, it's so-so. It's also very simple. So customer accounts, I usually leave them disabled if I'm selling like a one product thing. But if I'm selling an item where people are going to buy more than one of, or usually if people are going to come back and buy the same product over and over again because it's either a product that has a lifespan or is disposable and they need to buy more of, or whatever the case may be, accounts make it easy for customers to keep track of what they've already ordered. So I kind of leave that disabled because it also gives them another step to like log in to purchase. So it's just kind of one of those things where I leave it disabled just to make it easy for the customer to actually complete a purchase, right? Less steps. And then the next point, I only let the customers check out using email. If you use phone numbers, sometimes you lose out on that ability to, retarget them with email marketing, or also in the sense where it's hard for the fraud system that Shopify has to kind of see if an order is fraud or not just based off of a phone number only. It kind of helps if you keep it to emails. It's also really useful if you're reaching out to customers for order issues or any type of thing like that. You don't want to really be reaching out to a phone number. Not everyone uses a cell phone. Some people have home phones and they put their home phone number, and you have to end up calling them, and it takes up more time, and then you lose track of everything. Nothing's documented when you do phone calls like that. So email keeps everything in one place. It saves the emails that come in and go out, and it keeps it nice and organized. I like using email. Very simple, easy to use. So I leave it on checkout using email, and then they can choose to add their phone number for shipping updates and stuff like that. I always add that in there. That's a cool feature. But I uncheck the customers can download the Shop app. Now this Shop app that they use is only really good for USPS. It's not good for international shipping. It's not good for people who have shipments going to Australia or the UK or anywhere else other than the US. It's actually like really bad. So uncheck that so your customers don't get confused where they're downloading the app and trying to put their tracking number and then it doesn't show up and then they got to email you and then so to avoid all that, we just uncheck that. Don't offer the app. Just let them get their updates via SMS if they choose to. It works out for everyone. No one's complained to me, and it seems to free up more time, like I said. So then we make sure they have their first and last name or last name only. That's fine. And everything else I kind of leave as is. The phone number, I leave it as required just because our supplier actually requires this information. So I require that the phone number is a must. And then I don't have the tipping checked, no tipping. And then everything else is kind of the same, like by default. I just kind of leave it as is. Automatically archive the order, email address auto completion, that kind of helps also as well. So just kind of leave all those things. It's fine. I leave everything as is. So everything else is going to be the default setting for the checkout settings, and we won't have to really change it. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll all the way up to the top where we were at the style in the beginning, where we skipped it. So we're going to go back to that, and we're actually going to figure that out and do that real quick. So we're going to click on customize checkout here. Once we click on customize checkout, you're gonna see a few options. It's gonna look very similar to our website editor. It's gonna bring you to the website editor, but it's gonna show you just your checkout page options, right? So I'm gonna go to the actual checkout page so I can see like what we're doing or what we're working with. Once it loads up, see, it's gonna load up just our site for right now. I'm gonna add something to the cart and then check out so we can have that page available here. So I'm gonna click shop now. Once I click on shop now, it's going to load the page. And once it loads the page, I'm going to add something to my cart here. We see the upsell. We're just going to skip that for now. I don't know why I have 7 in my cart. I don't think it matters. Well, I'm going to click checkout, right? So once I click checkout, it's going to bring us to our checkout page that we're actually going to be customizing right here. So as you see, it's pretty simple. Shopify makes it very easy for you. Let's see. So we're here in the checkout settings, right? So now this is where it gets interesting. So the banner, I leave blank, so nothing on the banner, right? But you're like, whoa, there's a banner there. So that's actually the logo. So I make the logo this custom checkout banner that I've custom created with Norton, PayPal, McAfee, things that are already partnered with Shopify, that are integrated in Shopify's platform. I just kind of put it up there on display so that people can be, you know, they're going to trust your brand more if they see these other brands associating with your brand in a way. So now I have our brand next to Norton, next to PayPal, next to McAfee with the money back guarantee. You know, this all looks really professional, clean, and trustworthy, right? So I've made this banner. I'm going to include the banner down below for you to actually download, so you can go ahead and edit in your own logo using Photoshop or whatever photo editor that you have. Just put your logo in a transparent PNG format into there. Right next to it, you can just take mine out, or I might just put a blank one down below so you can put it right next to it, no worries. And then I put the positioning to center, and I make it large. So the logo size has to be large for it to take up the entire space there. And then it looks really clean. That's pretty much it. Everything else is blank. I leave everything else like as default. And then the colors is the only thing else. So the colors for the accent and the buttons, I try to match it up with my branding. So the red that we have for our logo is the same brand red that I'm using for the buttons, and also around the address fields, right? So it's very simple, very easy to customize your checkout. It's easy to make it feel trustworthy and branded just by changing that one little banner at the top, basically, and having the appropriate color scheme for your checkout page. And then we have some other things like free worldwide shipping here, and these are things we're going to edit in the language settings. So we're going to hop into that video next. So in that lesson, you'll learn how to change a little bit of the wording on your checkout page, and what's going to be required from our SMS bump app in order to actually send out SMSs to our retargeting customers. So I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. Let's hop into that next one.